Hey, welcome back to Jilly's Journey. This is actually another Drive With Me episode, and it's impromptu as the driving ones always are, because I'm focused on the road. I'm not able to look at any notes or anything like that. So, this again is going to be about mental health, and I'm really just here to talk about how every day can be different. There's so many things that could affect us and make us feel mentally unwell. So for me personally today, I dealt with a lot of depression and tiredness this morning. The tiredness was real. And what I knew it was is because I had a bagel last night and it was a gluten-free bagel and I had eaten healthy all day. So it would have been fine. But then I had some other food and it was just too much. And I work late sometimes. So sometimes I'm not eating as early as I'd like to eat. So I think all the food that I ate made me feel really tired in the morning. And on top of that, sorry, I'm driving, there's a lot of construction, so I have to pay attention. Um, so, long story short, I didn't feel great this morning. I pushed myself to take a walk first thing, which is what I always do. I either take a walk or I run or I lift weights. And so this morning I just said, I'm tired. I'm supposed to run today, but I have an early appointment, and which I actually canceled. But I got up early anyway because I was planning to go. I pushed myself to take a walk and it was okay. And I had my coffee, which made me feel a little bit less tired, more alert. And then I got ready, and literally as I was driving to the appointment, and the appointment was about 30 minutes away, give or take, with traffic. And then after that, I would have had to go to work. And I just thought to myself, I'm not feeling well today mentally. I'm feeling very tired, very foggy, and depressed. And I know it's my own fault because I didn't eat well the night before. But I called the doctor's office. It was just a random appointment that I had made when I had an ear infection. So I actually didn't need the appointment anyway. But I called them at 9 o'clock. The appointment was at 9:30, and I felt so bad. But I just said, hi, this is Jill. I'm just calling to cancel my appointment. But sometimes it's important to make time for ourselves, because if I had kept that appointment, I would have been feeling bad, and I would have been going to an appointment and then going straight to work after. And that's life. I mean, life gets busy, and I have to be able to just deal with it sometimes. But in particular, this time, it was just more important in that the appointment that I had was not that important. So I decided, my mental health, my emotional health, my energy levels, all of that is more important than going to this appointment that's going to take up my entire morning and leave me no time to focus on me. So what I ended up doing is, in the morning, like I said, I walked outside, and then after I decided I wasn't going to go to the appointment, I went to the nearby mall, and I decided to walk for about 35 minutes there. So I got some extra steps in, and that made me feel really good. And it means so much to me to take the time to exercise when I'm feeling down, and it's hard. It's hard to exercise, but walking is one of the easier things to do for most of us. So I'm just here to say in this Drive With Me episode that we have to work with what we have every day, and we have to find every avenue and make time and make a way to do what is right for our health. Now, obviously, I'm on my way to work now. I can't, every once in a while, we can call out from work for like a mental health day, but sometimes it's really something that we shouldn't do. Like for me, I work for Dairy Queen, and I work at 2 locations. And the one that I'm going to today, I haven't been there since Saturday. So it's crucial that I go in today because I decorate the cakes, and the cakes haven't been managed on or since Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that's 3 days in a row that I wasn't there to do anything for the cakes, because I worked at a different location yesterday, and then the 2 days before that I had off. And so, here comes an ambulance. Hold on. Okay, I paused it because there was an ambulance coming. And yeah, so the point is making sure that we take care of ourselves, and it's not always possible to put ourselves first. Like, let's be realistic. There's a lot of people out there these days, the last decade or so, people are like, oh, self-care, self before everyone else, self before everything else, you come first. And the reality is, that's not how everyone is able to live, and that's not how everyone necessarily wants to live. If you're a Christian, then you want to put others before yourself. And it doesn't mean to run yourself thin, and it doesn't mean that self-care is irrelevant. We obviously need to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others, but it's such a balancing act, and it's really hard if you deal with depression or any other emotional illness, mental illness, or even a physical illness, which can actually cause you to feel depressed if you're physically ill. All of these things, they can happen, and some of us really suffer from them. And so it's so important to take care of yourself, and sometimes it's difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So we have to take things one step at a time. Yes, that's a cliche, but let's get a little deeper into that. What does it mean to take one step at a time? Well, what it really means is, for example, you're going throughout your day, you wake up, such as I did, and you feel really tired that morning, you feel really depressed. Okay, so I'm not going to go outside and take a run, and I'm not going to lift weights because I'm just too tired, but the one little step that I'm going to take is going outside and taking a 20-minute walk at a regular pace. So I'm getting my exercise in, I'm getting outside. Both of those things can help relieve depression. And then I'm going to come home and I'm going to make time for myself to have some coffee. So the coffee helps me break through that fog a little bit, lift my spirits a little bit, and I love it. And even more importantly, as tired as we can be in the morning, what I've been doing is my alarm goes off at 6:30 in the morning, and for probably a month or two, I would snooze it and I would sleep till 7 or 7:30. And that was fine because I didn't have to be at work early. I had to be there at like maybe 12. But the problem with hitting snooze and all that is I didn't really have enough time. Sometimes I went to work earlier than 12, like maybe 10 or 11. Hitting snooze and waking up earlier, it didn't give me enough time to do all of the things that are necessary for me to feel great. And then let me throw another thing at you. My mom has said, and I totally get where she's coming from. She said it must be exhausting having to do all these self-care things just to get through the day. And I told her, well, we've talked about this before, so this isn't like a specific conversation that I'm remembering. It's just we've talked about it many different times, touched on it. And something that I always think is true is, for the average person that doesn't have mental illness, they can just wake up and go. They can wake up, they can have their coffee, they can exercise if they want to, but if they don't have time or they don't want to, they don't have to. Because maybe they don't have weight problems, maybe they don't deal with depression. So the average healthy person that's not suffering in any way can pretty much go with the flow. But unfortunately, for some of us that deal with depression, we have to just realize, if you're dealing with depression and you're dealing with weight gain because of your medicine, or maybe you've just always struggled with your weight, the reality is we have to live differently. We have to put in more effort. And that's just that. And so I'm here to, obviously this is a Drive With Me series and it's impromptu, but I'm also here to hopefully inspire you and just remind you that as challenging as life is, and even though it's unfair that some of us suffer and some of us don't naturally, it is what it is. And if there are things, that saying, just points to the fact that some things we can't change. They just are what they are. And I can't permanently change my mental health. I can't permanently change my emotions. I can't permanently change my weight in an instant. In order for me to lose weight and keep it off, which is a goal of mine for the next 6 months, to drop 40 pounds, in order to do that, I have to make specific decisions and I have to avoid specific things. It's been really hard. Last night I failed. I had too much dessert. I had too many carbs and I failed. And that's why I didn't feel well this morning. That's why I dealt with depression. That's why I'm not going to be losing weight after a day like that. And I have to keep reminding myself, no matter how repetitive it is, no matter how frustrating it is to have to try, it's important to not give up. And one step at a time makes it possible to succeed. One step at a time. So here I am. I had a rough morning and I tried to push through, and then I was able to make a change in my schedule, cancel an appointment, and take an extra walk. And so some days we're not going to be able to modify things for ourselves, and that's like the worst. But maybe like at the very end of your day, maybe you can do some stretching or some yoga just to relieve any pent up tension. Or maybe if you're going to bed at 10 or 11 and it's only 8 o'clock, maybe you can take a short walk. And if you don't have the ability to go outside because it's dark, or if you don't have a treadmill, what you could do is you could go on YouTube if you have the internet, and you could look up walking exercises. And you could choose to get a little bit of exercise in, even if it's at the very, very end of your day. Obviously, you're not supposed to do a high intensity interval training at 8 or 9 p.m. if you're going to bed at 10 or 11, because that type of exercise can really wake you up and it puts your body and your metabolism in motion. So obviously keep it light, but even that little bit of stretching or yoga or a light walk, that can help you feel better. And so good luck with whatever you're dealing with. Obviously my channel caters a little bit to people with mental illness, and I understand that not everyone deals with this, so not everyone needs to hear this stuff, but there are a lot of people who do need to hear it, and I hope and pray that anyone that needs to hear this finds it. And thank you so much for listening. I'll try to, going forward, aside from these Drive With Me series, I'll try to write in my journal a little bit more like I used to, and write up a good YouTube video. If I think of something specific, I will write it up and give a better quality, better organized little chit chat about the next topic. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great night. God bless you. Bye.